What's going on, guys? James Blonde here with MMOHuts.com, and we are at the Bandai Namco booth checking out Supernova. It's been a little while since we took a look at the game. A lot has changed, and I'm standing here with Theodore, and he's going to show us what has changed in the game. Tell us what's new.
So a lot has been, introduced into the game recently. One of our biggest pushes actually has been to improve the RTS features of the game. So we've recently added some extra abilities to help manage your units. So let's go in and I can show you some of those
absolutely.
real quick. So here I am in the character select section. I can choose which lane I want to be. I'm going to just stick with bot for now. And let's see. Let's go with Scryme. One of my favorite characters.
I love the skin for Scryme.
The football skin.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
The energy drink on the arm.
And he's a beast. Little cannon right there. It's awesome. I wonder if it's gonna shoot it says energy drink through the cannon.
Yeah.
Energy cannon. Hey,
Pump
makes
you
sense.
full of energy. That's how it works.
So over here you can select your additional kind of alliances. Currently we have a couple that we've introduced, like I said. So this is one army command attack. You can use this ability. It's got a really quick cooldown, comes up every minute, to one-time use to get all the units near you to attack the enemy commander. So it's timed at the right moment with the right army. It's very devastating. Another one we have is guard. This is really good if you're losing. You can always set your units to just sit down and just guard the territory. So guard your base rather than keep on advancing.
So you just have them sit kind of close to one of your towers or something like that if it's getting pushed, or how
exactly.
Does that work? Exactly.
So basically, it gives you an area where you just select which group units you want them to guard, and then you just click that, and it will set them to guard.
Let's do that one. Let's see that in game.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see.
That's a very interesting RTS element that's added to it. Being able to stop your units and have them guard something. That's cool.
Yeah, one of our biggest focuses is definitely going to be RTS. So there's several elements that we've included to help facilitate that. As we discussed a little bit earlier, there was the whole concept of upgrading and customizing your units outside of the matches. With units having 3 different customizable options. There's a lot of different strategies that players can select, depending on what their certain style is.
I always love the intro. Every time I see it, I'm like, yes, just land in there and start reaping havoc.
It's beautiful, and it's different whether you play the human faction or the cyborg faction. But let's see, first, let's get a little bit of an upgrade, and we can walk to base.
One small element that I really liked about the game was the way the return to base is different for each faction. I thought that was an interesting element. So it's with the humans, you wait for the carrier to come and get you, whereas the cyborgs, it's a completely different story. Why was that something that you chose to do there?
So we wanted to definitely offer advantages and disadvantages that incorporate the army as a whole. Oftentimes with MOBAs, people are just solely focused on their commander, and they don't have very much option for their units. So this way it provides an extra level of strategy. For example, with the humans, which when the time comes I'll show you, there's the whole pickup and drop off, evacuation and drop off abilities that a little ship comes and picks you up, and when it does that, a little ring appears around you where you're able to basically just do whatever you want, attack, move around in it. As long as you're in the ring, when the ship gets there, it'll pick you up. But if you're playing cyborgs, it's a teleportation ability, so you have to stand still the entire time, otherwise it'll get canceled.
They're focusing you.
I'm gonna get him anyways.
You got him. You got him. He's running.
You can run.
Wait, that was a bad idea. Almost. You get greedy. Get greedy. Get brave.
They push this lane. Looks like.
I worry about that too. I always get greedy. That's how I die.
So one thing that's really cool, which I was mentioning to you before, is that in this game you don't have to get the last hit on units. You can, your partner can do it, or you can wait yourself to let the units do it, and you will get the resources and the advantage from it either way. So right now I'm calling the evacuation ability, and as you saw, I can move in that little circle and I'd be okay.
You see a nice UI change there at the bottom from when we took a look at the game last. Interesting here.
Yes, so over here we can see that, I can select what units I want to be building. I haven't been building any, so I just keep accumulating resources. But my wave is about to spawn, so it's about time I build something. I'm just going to get a bunch of those guys. We're also going to do just a little bit of an upgrade. Let's go with health, since he is primarily a health champion. And then I'm going to select to drop off there. Let's get one of these guys.
Really like that drop off ability.
It's very convenient. I mean, who likes walking back to lane?
Especially if you're in the final push.
Exactly. So like right now, for example, these guys are going to be pushing on us. It'd be a perfect time when my units get here to just select them to guard. Oh, gotcha.
Oh yeah. Bring him in. Now, yeah, he's running again. He's like, well, this time he can't get away.
This time you're done.
He's done.
Bam. GG. So it looks like I didn't get a chance to really utilize my guard, but
didn't need to.
Exactly. For the sake of demo, I don't want them to die just yet. Bam.
That's cool. And how long will they stay there?
So this ability, I believe, lasts for 30 seconds, and its cooldown is 60 seconds. So you can use it quite often. See, in this way, the backup units will come and we'll have a stronger push altogether.
Now, is that something you have to be near your champion to do? So say if you wanted units, or your, well, I guess they're only going down your lane. Your units are only going down your lane, correct?
Right. So you can generally use it from being near them, but I haven't experimented with trying it from far away. Let's give that a try.
Yeah, say like if you're still at your base and you're trying to get there, you don't have a drop-off available, and you're like, oh wait, I want them to kind of hold up.
Yeah,
use it in that method?
I haven't tried that ability. I need to find out.
We're developing new tactics right now.
Exactly.
Right here, live.
See, look, the pausing, having my guard ability on there actually allowed more units to show up and be able to consistently take down this tower without, us having to sacrifice our own life pool. So let's see if I can go back to base and get them to guard.
Just hail the taxi. All right.
It used my cooldown, so it looks like, yep, he's just standing there now.
There you go.
So
say if you're on your way down the lane, that can be pretty useful.
You can use it from anywhere. So yeah. Let's go ahead and
say if you have quite a few units walking down there, I mean, it will make all of them guard, yes?
Yeah.
Or do you select a select few?
So it gives you that little area, the ring, where you select which ones in specific that are underneath that ring.
Late game, they get kind of big. You get some, decent sized armies there.
Exactly, yeah, and it definitely becomes a huge strategy to correctly time when and where you want to use it, but at the same time, because it's such a quick cooldown, you do want to not be holding reserve, like you don't want to reserve it for too long without using it. Several abilities you can actually use from far away. So I have a nuke ability called the Peacemaker. So for example, let me get this out of the way. Let's see what's going on. I might drop a nuke right here.
Drop the nuke. Another very RTS based attack there. Ability.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I'm on auto lock camera.
Oh yeah.
I need to They
didn't like that too much.
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, absolutely.
No problem.
Okay, So Control C is lock camera on commander. There. Freedom.
Freedom.
Okay. Alright, I'm ready.
Yeah, you're good.
So, as far as customizing your commander and upgrading them in-game, there's two different ways to do that. First is going to be through attributes, and that's a system that people are probably really familiar with. It's very point-based. You just click points into the attribute specific that you want to upgrade. The one thing to note is that some attributes will be limited. For example, this one, you can only have 2 points in right now. So in order to increase the capacity to get more weapon damage, I have to get a mastery that gives me that capacity.
Okay, that's definitely something that's changed.
Exactly. Well, it's just something that maybe wasn't.
Yeah,
people weren't completely aware of at the beginning. So the way this works is like if I learn this mastery, slowing attack, it'll increase my max weapon damage by 4. So
okay.
Now this has jumped up to 5. I can put 4 more points in there.
There we go.
And bam. All right, so the other thing to note, like my units keep, my resources keep accumulating. Most things are actually capable to turn on to auto upgrade. So if I want, for example, my commander to go and auto upgrade, I can just select this, and then all this will be taken care of for me. And the same thing applies to the army. Either way, if you don't want to have to worry about the micromanagement into the different upgrades and customizations, you can let the PC, the CPU, do it for you.
Which is definitely one thing that I noticed that I like, that there wasn't a whole lot of micromanagement in terms of like too many systems you have to deal with at once. Like you don't really have much of an item system, it's been replaced by other things, so it's not too much of a workload for the player when you're playing.
And one cool thing as well, I mean, like a lot of times, players have like their favorite item, but generally, there's no advantage of getting a second version of it or, getting multiple. With us, masteries is like the basic equivalency to items, and with each mastery, it can actually be scaled up to 3 different levels. Each time you level it, you're doubling it, you're tripling it of what its original value was. And these can, provide you also extra different abilities. So for example, slowing attack, now all my default attacks will slow whoever I attack from 20% to 30% to 40% as I scale it up. Not to mention increased damage and other various, effects depending upon the mastery. So in order to get back to base, I'm going to use my drop-off ability, which instantly picks me up and takes me to where I want to go.
The Space Uber.
This was that?
Space Uber.
Space Uber, yes.
The units are looking cool there, that spider tank.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is that each unit comes with its own different set of advantages. So for example, the spider tank, if I click on it, it'll give you its additional little stats. So for example, this one does area damage. Aside from the unit specifically that it's attacking, it's going to do damage to everything around it. Aside from that, it's got minimum range. So that means if you get close to it, it can't attack you because it's such a long distance.
Very artillery.
Yes, exactly. So one thing to note about guard is that it can be used not just on your units, but also on your allies' units as well.
Oh, cool! So you can basically make them guard. When you see your allies in danger. So if you're playing multiplayer and you're you're helping out the new guy, be like, hey, wait, hold up.
Exactly. So, I mean, a lot of times, not only is that the case, but also, this way you can strategize. So, for example, if you're doing a duo lane, one, generally the carry can go more of the attack damage, to other commanders' abilities, while you stick with the more support, your units and support your ally abilities. So that's just a variance in how you want to strategize with your team.
Now, how many different maps are actually in the game? I noticed that I've seen this map. Is it just the one map for now?
So currently, since we're in alpha, we're really focused a lot on testing, and because of that, we're gating our entry. I mean, we do lots of different strategy for acquiring our users, but right now there's not as much focus because we're just trying to test it. So we're not trying to split up our user base, so that way people don't have to wait too long to get into a match or something. If there were multiple matches or multiple maps, obviously people would the queue would be split up, and it might take it might impact the user's experience if it takes too long or
makes sense,
something of the nature.
So what and based on that question here is like, what is the next step in development right now?
So that crafting feature I mentioned to you is just actually about to get implemented. There are several things they've been working on, including improvements to this map and new maps. We haven't announced what our new map is going to be just yet, but I can tell you that players will find it very comforting.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. Camera's about to cut off there. I'm looking at the time though, so.
Is it like battery or?
No, it just can only record for a certain amount of time, and then it'll. The shutter will. It's a DSLR.
Okay.
I don't want it to do that on this.
Oh, that nuke!
There we go. Oh man, the tank looks good. The units are bigger.
And one thing to note as well, so like this tank can be upgraded. So if we go over here to the research panel, oh shoot, no! Oh, I'm dead. In the research panel, there's several different kind of upgrades available. So very similar to other RTS games, there's kind of general upgrades that upgrade overall infantry damage or infantry armor. It's categorized based upon infantry to vehicles to aircrafts. This is just for the human side. The factions obviously differ based upon which faction it is. But one thing to note is, aside from the general kind of researches, there's also individual unit researches. So for that tank specifically, there's one called the piercing shot, and it makes the Gauss tank do 20 armor penetration. So that's actually really strong, because even like my character right now, there we go. His armor is currently at 19.1. So getting this upgrade was going to do severe damage, and my guy's even a tank, so it's like to another like caster, right? With not to mention, if you were to put those extra technologies that do even more damage, you can actually kill your enemy commanders just through units alone.
There's no arguing that there's a nice level of strategy with this, all this new implementation of the abilities and upgrades.
Yes. It definitely provides a huge variety for different people. Like if they want to be focusing just on having just one strong hero commander, they can do that. If they want to have like just it's my army, that's where I'm bringing my value, they can do that. If they want to do both, they can do that.
Well, the game looks a lot more polished than we saw it last time. Where are we sitting in terms of alpha? Are we looking at beta anytime soon?
Yes, actually. So beta is coming next month. So
awesome.
Late next month, Supernova will be in its closed beta phase, and soon thereafter we are going to open it up and bring in all of our curious and excited new players.
Perfect. So how do players get access to the game, the beta?
So currently we have a gated entry, and the way to get into it is to get an alpha or a beta key. Actually, it's the same thing, because the alpha will bring you into the beta. So players can sign up to get these keys at www.supernovagame.com.
Perfect.
Additionally, there are several partners that we are working with, and they are distributing keys, doing key giveaways for us. So please, there are multiple ways in order to gain access to Supernova, and we're trying to provide various different promotions to kind of help keep things spicy for
Awesome.
for the market.
Well, thanks so much for showing us the game. It looks good. We're excited to see it.
Yeah.
And excited to get our players into the game. So, yeah.
Exactly. Well,
thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.